You are!
There it is.
Hell yeah, boss!
Oh, hey!
Oh, yeah!
Good morning and welcome to another episode of Hard Factor. I think I fucked up the date on the title here. Is actually December 22nd when we will, for today, episode 1363. But who cares?
I don't.
It's the last show before Christmas.
That's right.
So Mark's in the Christmas spirit. I try to do a little bit myself, more like a Menace to Society Christmas kind of.
McAllister's Home Security. Get it?
Nice. Oh yes,
I love it, dude. I was scrolling the internet not too long ago and came across something that was so terrible I had to buy it, and it was I'll show you. It was Guy Fieri did a collaboration with the NFL, and which I was like, what? And he made these boxers that are the worst things you've ever seen in your life. I'm going to show you. So immediately I saw him, I laughed, and then I texted him to PFT, fellow Commanders fan, and I said, what size are you? I need to get him a Christmas gift. He said, medium. Those are the worst underwear I've ever seen in my life. I said,
He rocks a medium underwear?
It's weird, right?
Yeah, he has no ass.
So I got myself a pair of XLs. I got him a medium. Here they are. Look at that.
Oh wow,
is that terrible or what?
Yeah, those are bad.
They're bad.
Those are real bad.
But he's got other things like this, which are kind of tight.
Smoked. Yeah, Get Smoked is pretty good.
So he did like a gear with every NFL football team related to their food, and the majority of it's tight. But for some reason, they did these boxers.
Yeah.
Which just make you want to throw up.
You see Guy Fieri's doing that thing with his kids
those.
Where he's like, they're not going to get a cent of my adherence unless they have 2 degrees. He's doing that.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Of separation?
No. You know what he means. I would get communication and like it's marketing or something.
I would
like
get
whatever's easiest.
I have another English degree, and then
English and communications. Like and go to college for like 7 years on this time and be like, well, I got to get that second degree, Dad.
Yeah.
And
take it to the internet. Live comment from Tiller. Those boxers are out of bounds, and I agree. If I was, if I was Fieri's kid and I heard that, I would start playing the long game immediately and like start being artsy immediately, so I could go to like Evergreen or like some super liberal arts college where the degree is easy to achieve.
Degree, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if 3 guys are wearing the boxers, it would be triple D.
It would be triple D. I mean, what were they thinking of?
Riders, driving, and donks.
I thought, well, there you go.
Town.
I thought they were knockoffs, but they're officially licensed.
Yeah. Well, look, as mentioned, this is the last show before Christmas. We are off Christmas Day and Boxing Day, so we will have 3 shows for you next week, starting Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, Friday morning. So you get us today, and then you have a happy holidays, and then you get us starting Wednesday next week, right?
That's right.
You're welcome. Let's do those news.
Yeah, I'm ready. Here we go.
Do you know who you're with? 3 Factor, yeah. And this is real news.
Also, right off the bat, I got 2 of these for you. The first one's going to be more serious headlines. We'll end the show with some fun ones.
I'm living on the edge of a lightning bolt, and I do not apologize for that.
2 lightning rounds. First up, let's talk about some big news, right? Some major headlines for you guys here. Hamas says no more hostage releases until the ceasefire and Israel stops the war. And Israel says no Hamas, which is the opposite of no mas. It's CMAS on the war. They want to continue the war until Hamas is no Hamas. So that sucks all around over there. No more hostage releases. Yeah. There's headline number 1. Should we move on?
Yeah, let's move on.
More death in the Middle East.
Let's move right on from it. I think it was like 20,000 dead earlier this week. Anyways,
well, they flooded
Palestinians?
Mostly.
Yeah.
In Gaza. I guess it's like got buku tunnels there.
Yeah,
Israel flooded all the tunnels.
Yeah, it's real messy over there. It's not
Apparently
good.
it's going to maybe mess up their drinking water for years. So
they could do toilet water.
right. By the way, we didn't hit these yesterday real quick. From stink to drink. Okay. Pretty good.
Yeah.
And from stench to quench.
I like stench to quench. In the
Here's one
Discord,
from-
some people put some in too.
Here's from Jim from fecal to faucet.
Let me hang on in the Discord. You guys keep talking. Mama.
Well, on that note, we posted the social media video today, and look, it's funny. Okay, part of the reason I picked the story was because it was funny. The other part was I know that people hate California on our follower base.
Yeah, did that work?
Yeah, well, it worked, especially because Eric didn't put in the part where I say, look, everyone's already drinking poo water. This is nothing new.
Right.
So then all the comments were either, this is nothing new, or goes to show you in California.
60-second clips. You can't get all the information, believe it or not, but they don't. From your bowels to your towels.
That's good.
From P to T from Mama C.
Like
That's
that.
good.
What else is there? Anyways, there's some good ones like that. Moving on to the next headline. Here's a funny one. America's mayor, Rudy Giuliani, great Christmas name, is filing for bankruptcy after losing a verdict of $148 million for a defamation suit. Giuliani defamed 2 Georgia election workers over false claims they tampered with votes in 2020, and the judge might as well have just made it a zillion dollars because.
Whoa.
Yeah, you
Now-
know, I've never seen this before. When a huge award is given in court, it was that he had to pay it immediately. Right? Like, you ever heard someone, they win a lawsuit and they're like, but I will never see a dime of it.
Right.
The judge was like, now.
Well, he's filing for bankruptcy. I mean, he couldn't even afford good hair dye. So I mean, what
true.
you think he has 148 million laying around?
I mean,
Of course he doesn't.
good on justice. Those poor ladies were used as pawns, and their lives were ruined.
Yeah, they should get whatever, like some money that he has, but I don't think he has 148. He's going for bankruptcy. Hopefully they'll get something. We'll see. In similar news, Alex Jones made an offer recently to pay the Sandy Hook parents. He said, "How about 55 million of the 1.5 billion I was ordered to pay?" And he said, "And can I pay it over 10 years?" And the parents said no, and countered by saying, "Maybe you should liquidate all your assets and sell your production company and all that stuff to get the money."
When does he have to pay up by?
It doesn't seem like.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I'm saying, Wes. Like, that's normally it. There's a judgment given, and then you figure it out. But the judge in Giuliani's case
Keep
said,
fucking around.
Unless you go to parent court, then you have to pay immediately too.
Real quick, Alex Jones story. Weirdest scenario in my life. The week I spent with Alex Jones. But before I could meet Alex Jones, I know I told it before, but I have to tell it again. Before you meet Alex Jones, his dad vets you. And you get the sense his dad has an office at InfoWars, that his dad's only gig is to vet people for Alex. And in his dad's office, are a bunch of pictures of Alex when he was younger, shirtless, doing martial arts, which is very
Taekwondo,
intimidating.
right?
I don't know.
Okay. Interesting.
I wouldn't want to fight Alex Jones.
No, he's got like a barrel chest. If he gets his mitts
he
on
would
you,
destroy me.
he gets his mitts on you. He's gonna
No
hurt you.
holds barred
Yeah.
with Alex Jones.
And he's also an alcoholic. I mean, he's
fight
got
you.
at least $1 million in unopened vodka bottles, or juice, as he calls it, in a bunker in Austin.
He does call it his juice.
And can you get my juice? Get me my juice. That's what he says to his interns, and they know what that means. Get him some vodka. And then, of course, we haven't talked about it yet, but the Colorado Supreme Court ruled that Trump is not eligible to be on the ballot for the 2024 presidential election in Colorado.
Primary.
Or the primary. Yeah. And now some red states are threatening to do the same by not letting Biden on the ballot. So not sure how things are going to shake out. I think the Colorado ruling is going to appeals. I don't know
The
how
Supreme Court's going to shut it all down is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So here's what's going on. They ruled to take him off the primary ballot, but then they said they're not going to do anything until January 4th, giving the U.S. Supreme Court until January 5th to make a decision. The U.S. Supreme Court's going to pick it up, put a stay on it. So point is, he'll be on the ballot. And also, this has happened before where candidates have like dropped out of a race, but they've already printed the ballot, so they'll just put a sign or something. But I want to bring up one point, guys. Here, I watched all the media on this shit today, and there's a bit of what you'd expect, but what's coming out that's really bothering me is the slippery slope argument here. It's like, there's not a slippery slope here. Trump triggered, because he's Trump and he's the most bizarre assholic president we've ever had. He triggered the third paragraph of the 14th Amendment. Other people aren't going to trigger that shit. Leave it to Trump to trigger
Hopefully
some weird paragraph in the 14th Amendment.
Yeah.
Which he did.
Look, I mean, it just kind of goes to show you the state of American politics. We talked about the current Congress costing the most and doing the least amount of work in terms of passing things ever. And now that, the two options in 2024, depending on what state you're in, are Tweedle old or Tweeter older. So
Biden thumped Trump in Colorado anyway.
Well, right. That's what they're saying. It's like now the red states are like, we're going to take Biden off, but he wasn't going to win anyways. And
There are 10 other lawsuits. So most of them have been tossed out for procedural issues because it's a primary, right? That's first up. So essentially, like a lot of courts, first of all, Colorado agreed that he committed insurrection. But again, you don't need to be convicted of insurrection. It's what the Constitution says, literally. But the procedural things are throwing stuff out because it's a primary, which is decided by the party. Usually, they could bring the case back in a lot of states when the presidential official election is going to happen. Minnesota, it's still alive. One other state, it's still alive.
The New York Post put out a poll today that said the majority of Americans agree with the decision, including 25% of Republicans. I don't know how large that poll was, and obviously, when it comes down to two choices, you're going to vote for your side, and it's probably going to be those two olds anyways. But not if John Schneider of the Dukes of Hazzard has his way. Remember this? Remember this guy?
Oh, he's one of
Not
the boys.
Really. One of the boys. Yeah. Oh, you might remember him from his most recent movie, 2023's Jingle Smells, which went straight to Rumble.
Yeah.
Went straight to the Rumble app.
It was about Christmas 2023 in California.
Exactly. It's about a guy who needs to become a trash man to buy Christmas presents or something like that. So Jingle Smells, about trash men, starring John Schneider, who is now in trouble with the Secret Service for releasing this tweet earlier this week in response to Biden talking about Trump being a dickhead. John Schneider said, "Mr. President, I believe you are guilty of treason and should be publicly hung. Your son, too. Your response is..." Sincerely, John Schneider. So I guess he wants Biden to be like, "You're right, I should be hung publicly."
I'll wait.
Yeah, I'll wait.
I'll wait.
So
he thought it was an email. How old is he? He's old, right? He thought it was an email.
He's this guy now. Yeah, he's this guy now in that picture. That's him. So he's 60s.
I never get the actors being political. I never get that.
Yeah,
but it's not like he's getting a lot of work anyway. It's not
No,
like he has much to compromise.
No, Jingle Smells 2 will probably not be made.
What do you think he made for that? 20 grand?
Probably.
Let me see who's in it.
Jim Brewer, who's gone full right pill. It's like a bunch of like right wing guys that made Jingle Smells.
Budget.
Brewers in it.
Budget. I'm gonna say $750.
Yeah, I mean Schneider.
He probably made
like 7th billing or something like that, right? Like is
he probably 20, 30, something like that.
Yeah. Good for
him. It's not about that. It's not about that. It's about
he's going to need it for lawyers. Lastly, in the major news lightning round is the worst one. On Thursday, 15 people were killed in Prague and 30 others injured when an insane student opened fire on everyone in the Czech Republic's capital at the college he goes to.
Yeah, didn't he do it kind of like the clock tower in Texas?
So he was sniping from up high, and then this is students that had to get on a roof and hide, and like someone had to jump off of the roof and stuff. It was yes, he had like a more of a sniper, and he was up on a rooftop. Yeah, that psycho was a 24-year-old student who was described as an excellent student. He reportedly suffered devastating injuries, and they're saying either he shot himself or got shot by the cops or both. He might be dead, but he's certainly in pain. Hopefully they shot his dick and balls off.
Excellent student because he didn't have a lot of hobbies.
I guess. I don't know.
Probably.
But they're saying they don't really know what the motive is yet. He also reportedly killed his father hours before going on the spree at the college he went to. And he's suspected of killing a man and his 2-month-old daughter last week on December 15th. So the police went and raided his house, and they found evidence that he killed I don't know if it was a neighbor and his 2-month-old daughter, but he killed his dad. He killed another guy and his 2-month-old daughter, and he killed 15 people and counting at his college.
Jeez,
so
man.
He's on Santa's naughty list. Horrible news.
Doesn't happen a lot over there at the schools over there.
So those are just, if you get your news from us, we got to cover those big ones. And we'll do a fun lightning round later.
Okay.
Wasn't there an Aerosmith album called Big Ones? Wasn't that the name of their album?
I think it was Janie's Got a Gun.
Aerosmith Big Ones. Yeah, Big Ones.
There you
Compilation album. They're
Big
talking about
hits.
tits.
Yeah. We're going to be talking about tits later in the second lightning round.
Woo!
Yeah, let's get to that. But first, got a question. Well, you can understand sounds no matter what language, right? You speak or are learning. I don't have the sound ready, but something like that. That's what the sound of the right answer in Babbel sounds like.
That's right.
So start
That was
speaking a
tight.
new language in just 3 weeks, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was terrible, but
I said it was tight. I said it was tight.
I thought you said it was
That's pretty
terrible.
good.
I said it was tight.
Tight. It was tight. This fall, you can start speaking a new language with Babbel. Why Babbel? Because it works. Instead of paying hundreds of dollars for a private tutor or fooling yourself with language apps that are little more than games, Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons are designed by over 150 language experts to help you start speaking a new language in as little as 3 weeks. We've talked about it before, how many doors and, quite frankly, vaginas Babbel will open for you if you learn a new language. It's just going to be, open. It's going to open stuff.
Did you learn to say open sesame yet in French?
Yeah.
Okay, you might want to learn that.
If you can learn, I'm going to eat you till the break of dawn, in another language, in
Yeah.
her home language, her
Right.
native tongue. With your native tongue, you're going to be in for.
You're going to have a good trip.
Yeah.
You have a good
You
trip.
got work tomorrow? Learn how to say that.
Studies from Yale, Michigan State University, and others continue to prove Babbel is better. For instance, one study found that using Babbel for 15 hours is equivalent to a full semester at college. With over 10 million subscriptions sold, Babbel is real language learning for real conversations. So here's a special limited time deal for you, our listeners, to get you started right now. Get 55% off your Babbel subscription, but only for our listeners. Only for you listening right now at babbel.com/factor. Get 55% off.com/factor, spelled BABBEL.com/factor. Rules and restrictions may apply at babbel.com/factor. There you go.
There you go.
There you go. Okay, I'm gonna hop in then. Mark, I know when you proposed to your lovely wife, you were pretty sure she was gonna say yes, right? Like, I mean, it was pretty much sure thing.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
That's what you tell yourself.
Yeah, I was pretty sure.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You guys, there was no doubt.
We'd been together for like 5 years, living together for like 3.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hunt any tips or hints that there was a definite yes, or did you just know?
Well, I mean, she has a very nice ring that the part of it was a family ring, and her mom gave me the family ring in front of me and her. So I mean, like pretty much everyone was in on it. Yeah.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I had to do some extra add-ons to it, but yeah, I knew yes.
Okay.
Probably. Yeah.
But what if, let's say she had been keeping her true feelings secret, and in the insanely romantic moment, she said, "Listen, I'm sorry, but I actually want to break up with you. I hate your guts, and you're ugly. I'm way out of your league, you loser."
That would have been devastating. That would have been devastating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Make you wonder why she waited such a long time to do that.
Right. You're like, man, you're
But
mean.
mean.
Yeah. You're a mean lady.
Check the calendar. We don't have any vacations planned.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know. Wow, you're mean.
Yeah. Jesus. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
You sure?
Well,
What did you say?
But you're sure, right?
Yeah.
Well, one man in Turkey wasn't just shocked. He found another solution to his way. Sorry, I messed that up. One man in Turkey, the only
Man
solution
wasn't Turkey.
Try it
to
again.
his
go to
way
zero and try
out
it
of
again.
his- well,
For
for
one
one
sad
man
Turkey.
in Turkey, the only solution for his way out of his league girlfriend's rejection to his proposal was to toss her off a cliff in the countryside of Turkey, killing her.
So
Got
here's the thing.
That's the West End.
That is
Yeah.
it's a bit of an overreaction, but you don't want to say an aggressive no on a cliffside.
You don't.
Yeah,
You
but
want to say yeah, and then when you get home from the cliff, be like, you know what? Let's pump the brakes on that.
well, look, before you're married, there's still things you're learning about your partner. And maybe one thing she didn't know about him was he takes rejection very poorly. And
Right.
I assume maybe something he knew about himself is he couldn't really deal with her saying no, which is why he chose the cliff.
Obviously, but no, maybe that's why I chose it. But you don't want to say something like at a cliffside proposal, like "I'd rather you throw me off this cliff than marry you."
Right.
Yeah, similar to like you guys remember that Dateline where that couple, they were like their marriage was in shambles, and then they like went hiking on a cliffside. It's like, what are you doing?
And he left a map of where
her
the
ass
X
off
was
that
on the
cliff.
spot where he threw her off. Yeah.
Yeah, they go on. People do it on cruise ships, cliffs.
What's that down there?
You know, all over. So here's the couple, and as you can see, that's Niza Metin Gursu and his then 39-year-old girlfriend Yasim Demir, way out of his league. She's beautiful. And
well, you say she's 39.
Here's another picture of her.
She looks a lot younger than him, but you said 39, so she's not like too much younger than him.
That's why they're dating, because he looks like he's about 39.
Right.
She
looks like she's like 30.
Although she's taken good care of herself in the last 8 years, she's leveled out and said, I've gotten all that great, young, beautiful D. Now I'm going to level it out and be with someone my own age.
I would have guessed 42 and 32. I do not.
Yeah, I mean, she's, in my opinion, way out of his league.
You're right, but it could be very funny.
So back on July 6th, he dropped to one knee, proposed, and she said no. Well, he said, it's a good thing I did this right near this cliff, just like I planned. So now I got to throw you off because I can't. If I can't have you, nobody can. Right? It's just the dog. It's just the dog in me, baby. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Right. Now, of course, originally this ugly piece of shit told authorities that she had said yes, but as he was grabbing celebratory food, champagne, and drinks from his car, he heard a blood-curdling scream.
Right.
And then when he returned to the picnic site, he saw that she had somehow tumbled over the ledge.
Of course, she was so surprised that she was so happy that she just didn't know how to walk and walk
jumped
backwards.
for joy over the cliff.
Right.
Officer, one thing you got to know about my fiance is that when she gets excited, her balance gets iffy. This is just something you got to know about her. And look, she was pretty excited, obviously.
Yeah. But then when the cop asked, so you proposed, what did she say? And then a blood vessel popped in his forehead.
And then also one thing during the investigation, police discovered the ring that he claimed to have given her was still in its box inside of his pocket.
Right. Because she didn't accept it.
Because she didn't. She said, "No, ugly. I'm not taking that ring."
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to teach a sales course here, but you kind of blew the delivery, bud. Like, if there's a chance she's going to say no, you want to stack the deck in your favor, and you want to present the ring when you ask so that she sees the ring. If she likes it,
I don't know, Pat. I think it's like you said, he really backed her into a literal corner where it was a cliff.
Are there corners on cliffs?
Well, you know what I mean. It's like
a ledge, I'd say. Backed her
against a ledge where it was a ring or the ledge.
Yeah.
But she didn't even see the ring, is my point.
No, she saw the ring.
She told him to shut the box.
See.
He opened the box.
I see. Okay.
And she said, shut that box.
It wasn't on her finger was the issue. That
wasn't on her finger.
Okay.
He didn't have the foresight to put it on her finger first. Like, hey, why don't you just try it on and then push her off the ledge?
Can you just please put it on for a second?
Yeah, just 1 second and stand right there.
I got you. Ooh.
Yeah.
I understand. I guess this means we're breaking up. I guess one last request.
Yeah. One picture, please.
For my dying mom.
Yeah.
So the woman's family
too.
also told authorities that she confided to them, was like, I hate him. I'm going to end things with Gursu. And she would have not accepted his marriage proposal. And her family also claimed that Demir suffered from panic attacks and would never have willingly been so close to the edge of a cliff. Like, she would have never gone to the edge of a cliff. She would have, so,
Dude,
yeah.
This sounds like a situation where Gursu knew what was coming and decided to, because he probably hates, he likes to hurt himself. He's a masochist. So he's like, she's going to break up with me. I know. I'll ask her to marry me. Make it real awkward for her.
Right.
Is it possible he did it not super close to the cliff because she's scared of cliffs? And then when she said no, clubbed her over the head, brought her to the cliff.
Because then he would have put the ring on her finger.
Oh, that's true.
Here's the fucked up thing is that, so he originally was like, he told police, he was all distraught. He said that they chose their engagement spot because he thought it would be romantic. He said, we chose it to have a romantic memory. After the proposal, we drank some alcohol. Everything happened at once. She lost her balance and fell down. What's even more fucked up is she survived the 104-foot plunge, but died later. I guess not survived enough to
She
be
was
like,
it was ugly.
it was ugly, right?
It was ugly.
She didn't survive enough to be marriage material, I guess.
No.
Yeah,
Now she's ugly enough to be with him. She's like he proposes to her at a skydiving thing and she says no and he throws her off. He's like, she was so excited she forgot to put on her parachute. Yeah.
That's just like her.
Yeah.
But Turkey is no place to say no to your fiance. Apparently, femicide, the gender-based killing of women, has been on the rise in Turkey. According to one study, a digital memorial for women killed by violence, the Monuments Counter, at least 380 women in Turkey have been killed by men so far this year. 383 were killed last year. And I guess that's
where they have the shacks when they're on their period in Turkey.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
That's what I always thought, but I heard someone say something that the women's rights in Turkey was decent.
I thought that was Nepal where they did that.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Turkey. The most surprising part of this picture is that he has a shirt on because they don't even really sell men's shirts in Turkey. The guys just walk around shirtless over there.
What's that neck cut? Do you see there, Mark?
Yeah, it's low.
Is that a V-neck?
Yeah, that's the
It's
only
very
shirts
Turkey.
they sell. Yeah, in Turkey's V-necks.
So
Did you guys know? I didn't know this, but apparently, Turkey's where you go to get hair plugs done.
Oh yeah, they got good hair over there.
Like apparently on the flight from Turkey, Istanbul to New York, it's all dudes with bandage heads.
hilarious.
I saw.
They're hairy
I
over
saw,
there. They know about hair.
Yeah, they're very hairy. I saw an Instagram of a guy who's completely bald, and his mission in life, he's like in his 40s. His mission in life is to get his hair back, and he started rubbing like chilies, like jalapeno chilies, on his head, and he's got like a tiny bit left, and he's like, "This is going to work." He's got a ways to go, but he's just been rubbing like peppers on his head to waken up his hair things.
To awaken his follicles.
Follicles, yeah.
Man, it's crazy that they know about hair over there because literally, would you guys say that the most well-known Turkish national is this guy, Bald Bull from Mike Tyson's Punch Out?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'd say so.
Yeah, I'd say so too.
Yeah.
So I guess menstruation huts are in mostly Nepal.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
Wow, who knew? All right,
Get them
guys.
in the hut.
Get him in the hut. Do you well, Wes, let me ask you a question. As a recovering addict, right, or an alcoholic in recovery, what's it like to have a compulsion to do something, right, that you know is only going to lead to bad things, right? Is it only going to end poorly? Is like that a challenge? Like, what's that mental struggle like?
It's like having no control at all. It's you know it's gonna fuck you up, and you almost do it on purpose to fuck yourself up. It's very
Here we
strange.
go. Here we go.
Yeah, it's very, very strange. But you get in a state where you just cannot stop, and then once the ball's rolling, you really can't stop. It's
right.
It's insane. Yeah.
And thank you for explaining that, Wes. I appreciate it. It makes sense for substances, right? Stuff that have a direct effect on your brain. Hey, I feel this way. I'm going to put a substance in my body. Now I feel a different way. I like that. I'm going to keep doing it. It's a little bit different for things that are related to not substances, like
It's like
people
opening a can of Pringles, right?
Right. Like, do you remember, Mark, in high school, we got that idea. Had a big magic marker, and Mark had his license. We were driving around a lot with nothing to do. And I said, it'd be funny is if I write, "You can't," and then sucking cock with the stop right in the middle.
Yeah.
And
then
then
the stop was already there.
That's good.
and then we were riffing about some poor woman who saw that sign and looked up and then starts crying and then goes, "It's true."
Yeah. And then we did it and it lasted in the neighborhood for about a year. It was
Permanent marker.
Yeah. They didn't change the sign.
Yeah, sex addiction's real, but it's not fun. I mean,
We drove by it and everyone's like, who would do this? And we're like, I don't know.
right. It's a funny concept. I can't stop. Do you have any?
Addiction, that cycle is the same no matter what you're addicted to.
That's true.
Right.
But the subject of our next story had an addiction that's kind of, I don't know, man. You guys will have to tell me if it makes sense or not. And I'm, of course, talking about the gentleman White. Does that ring a bell? White?
Casey White?
No, just White. It's a handle. That's what they call your nickname in the hacker world, White.
Okay.
Have you guys heard of the hacker group Lapsus?
No.
With a dollar sign at the end? No, I haven't heard of Lapsus. Because Lapsus is a big deal hacker group. It's been around for not that long, like 2 years maybe. and it's run by almost exclusively teenagers. And the leader of Lapsus is a 17-year-old boy who goes by White sometimes. And I don't know if you remember back in September, I'm a big GTA head. I was very excited for GTA to come out. The trailer, the official trailer released 3 weeks ago. But in September, someone dropped a 3 gigabyte file full of 90 videos of footage, gameplay footage from GTA 6. And Rockstar Games was not happy.
I remember that because like it's like 2 years away, so obviously it was like not the best footage, and they're like, "Oh, this game's gonna suck," and Rockstar was like, "It's not even close to being done." Yeah,
right. I mean, dude, I couldn't even imagine what the budget on GTA is. Like those guys are they're spending $1 billion on that game. There's no doubt about it. You're pissed. I couldn't believe the trailer came out 3 weeks ago. Well, this 17-year-old kid, White, who's the head of Lapsus, he's the one that hacked Rockstar Games and posted it online. And thing is, he did that, his most infamous hack, while he was on probation, or he was essentially waiting sentencing for the NVIDIA hack that him and the boys at Lapsus had done. And he was, of course, as you'd imagine, banned from using a computer, right? We all
can't
seen
help
the movie.
himself. Yeah.
Well, okay, we're going to get to that. He can't help himself. Despite having his laptop confiscated, he was in a Travelodge hotel. He breached Rockstar Games using an Amazon Fire Stick and his hotel TV and a mobile phone. And then he broke into the company's internal Slack messaging system, and he said, quote, "If Rockstar does not contact me on Telegram within 24 hours, I start releasing the source code." So this is a big thing that Lapsus, the hacker group, was obsessed with, his source code. They were source code bros. They weren't just going to lock you out of your computer. They didn't really even fuck with malware or ransomware. They would just drop source code, okay? And this kid was sentenced, right, to his punishment for the hack. Does anyone want to guess how long he got?
5 years.
5 years for hacking? Okay.
Probably like 2 years.
Try life, guys.
Life.
What? He's
Well,
17.
life.
He got life in prison.
Well, not prison, in a psychiatric hospital. He's been committed to the psychiatric hospital for life.
People are scared of this dude. Whoa,
Dude, people are very scared of them. So apparently,
that's
he
a
was
bit
very
extreme.
he was very violent when he was in custody. Dozens of reports of injuries and violence and property damage while he was being held for the NVIDIA hack. Doctors deemed, and the guy's last name is Kurtaj. He's an autistic kid, obviously a great fucking hacker. Doctors deemed that he was unfit to stand trial due to his acute autism. So the jury was asked to determine whether or not he committed the alleged acts, not if he did them with criminal intent or not. And a mental health assessment used as part of the sentencing hearing said he, quote, "continued to express the intent to return to cybercrime as soon as possible. He was highly motivated. He couldn't stop." So he essentially said, you put me back on the street, and if I see a cock, I'm sucking it. I can't stop.
But a computer.
But a computer.
Autistic people they just get obsessed with stuff, whether it's like baseball facts or hacking or counting the rotation of a ceiling fan. Like they get obsessed with stuff.
Rod Carew.
Rod Carew. Great ball player. Arion Kurtaj is his name. They got Lapsus hacked Uber, NVIDIA, Rockstar Games. Those hacks cost those firms at least $10 million. Absolutely insane, dude. Lapsus, these guys apparently didn't give a fuck, right? So a lot of internal OPSEC people, security people in the computer world were like completely dumbfounded by these kids before they knew they were kids, because they would hack into something and then they would screenshot where they were, and then they had a Telegram with 60,000 people in it. And they would just be like, look where I am. I'm about to drop the source code. They dropped Uber source code. They just didn't give a fuck. They like straight up didn't give a fuck.
I have a conspiracy theory listening to this.
What's your
story.
conspiracy theory?
Well, life in a mental hospital seems a bit extreme for this. I think that he is going to be repurposed, and they're just pretended like he's in this hospital, and they're going to put some like mute kid in there or whatever that no one's going to check on because he's not in a prison. And so
he's swap him.
Yeah. And now like the government is going to use him for hacking because
they
he's,
should
like hacker.
Catch me if you can.
Yeah, exactly. I think that they're going to give him a new name. He's not going to be White anymore, and then they're going to, and then he's going to be working for them. He was offered life in the mental hospital, and then they're like, well, here's the alternative. We throw some other Yahoo in there, and you work for us now, white. That's what I think is happening here.
Dude, I could see that. It's amazing that you think like the teenage trouble we got in back in March of 2022 for the NVIDIA hack. 7 people between 16 and 21 were arrested by the City of London Police Department. They're all UK kids. And one of them got life. I mean, now look, a doctor can let them out if they deem that's a good thing to do. But apparently this kid is fucked up. Here's a picture of him with a shark.
Yeah. They're reprogramming his brain, but they're going to want him to be hacking for them.
He can't stop.
He's too talented. Yeah. Wow. Life.
Just so you know, if I get out, I'm going to commit cybercrime. Okay.
Did he kill anyone? Like, it's just hacks, right? I don't.
No, I mean, but like, imagine you have a murderer, a teenage murderer, right?
But not a murderer, right? Because it's a hacker, right?
But just say you have a teenage murderer,
sure.
And you know, he said, hey, you know, you're gonna like if you're a teenager, maybe if you're not tried as an adult, you go till you're 21, and the murderer is like, if I get out of here, I'm a murderer again. Like, what do you do?
But I think murdering is like already you can get life, right?
All right, so you got a teenage guy who keeps sucking everyone's dick, okay? Against their will. He just is always just dropping his knees, like, I'm trying to suck it, right? And he goes to jail, and they're sentencing him, and he's like, they're like, are you sorry for what you did? He goes, as soon as I get out of here, I'm going to suck your dick.
Okay, so they're going to take him at face value. I thought the whole point of the, criminal, it's like a reform system, right? They're supposed to rehabilitate. Isn't that the whole purpose of jail?
Yeah, but you can't cure autism yet, so.
Well, I mean, I get all that. What I'm saying is, like, if he's saying, I'm going to keep hacking, wouldn't they be like, well, we're going to give you a 5-year sentence and we're going to try to get you to stop hacking, but then we'll, like, assess.
I think it was the violent outbursts.
What was he doing? Smacking people around? Did he kill anyone?
I mean, there was at least 12 incidents dozens of reports of injury and property damage while he was in custody, being killed.
Wow, property damage. Wow. Okay. I get it now.
He sounds like a menace, bro. Oh, or your conspiracy.
Let's lock him away for life. Good call. All right. As promised.
I mean, it's indefinite, I guess. That's maybe what it's.
No, all the headlines. It's life. Yeah. Yeah, it's life. Interesting. As promised, let's do some good stuff.
Living on the edge of a lightning bolt, and I do not apologize for that.
This is the fun lightning round. And we're going to talk about breasts, big ones.
Okay. What do you got?
Big ones. Well, I got Sydney Sweeney, the hot chick from Euphoria. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'll tell you what. You see Sydney Sweeney and you're like, there's a lot of people on this planet. How's she the only one that's come along like that in such a long time? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Lock me away for life if it's oogling Sydney Sweeney's breasts. Because
so something special.
Exactly. And it almost didn't come to be, Pat. And that's because back in high school, Sydney Sweeney, she's one of those girls that developed early. And she wasn't in acting yet, and she was a little bit self-conscious about it, and kids made fun of her, and she hated her perfect breasts. So she saved up
perfect gigantic breasts.
She was the only one that hated them, but she hated them, and she saved up money, and I think she comes from a rich family anyways, but she was going to get a breast reduction. She was dead set on it. But
that's blasphemy.
I know. But thank God for her saint of a mother who talked her out of it and said, Sydney, you're going to want them things.
I'll tell you about the real world, Sydney.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about life, how easy you got it.
Yeah. Dude, I went golfing the other week, and we had a threesome, so maybe like hole 4,
Yeah.
they put a fourth with us, and this is cool woman, she's hanging out, we're chatting it up. I can pick up that she's rich, because where she's talking about where she lives. I'm like, so what do you do? And she's like, I'm a plastic surgeon. I said, okay, cool. And then a couple more holes. And I said, what's your specialty? And she goes, breasts.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and this is the type of thing where we only had maybe time for one question before, because she was walking and we were in cars. She wanted to walk the course.
But you have so many more questions now.
Yeah, so many more questions. And I'm just thinking about this is sick, bro. I'm going to ask her about what's the best breast she's ever seen. And I go,
well, you hop in the cart and I'll ask you about tits for the next 9 holes.
She didn't want to get in the cart. She wanted to walk. She keeps tight. So I said, oh man, what's you have a breast specialty? And she goes, reductions. And I said, wah, wah, wah.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Devil.
Yeah, what? Yeah,
I played it cool though. I said, "Oh, that's really noble of you. That's great. I'm sure
What's her
you."
name? Beelzebub.
A lot of people out there.
Taking to the internet.
Beelzebub.
Beelzebub. Colin Phillips says 0 beers to smash Sydney Sweeney, and Tiller says Sydney Sweeney, never heard of her. Me to my wife. Yeah.
The worst part about her though is she's like opposed to doing nude scenes. Oh no! Wait, no, she's not. She does them all the time.
The Sween dog.
She's done like 100 of them.
Great parenting for her mom there. That's great news to start off the lightning round. It's good news lightning round. Okay, next one's good news for partiers. Bern, the capital city of Switzerland, is planning on legalizing cocaine.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Damn.
My
Yeah,
bachelor
big time.
party might be in Switzerland.
Yeah, and Bern. Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa, they're going for it.
You said this is legal, right?
I get to show you firsthand what happens to an addict, Pat.
Yeah. let's go down that hole. They say the war on drugs has failed over there, and they're going to try a pilot program to allow everyone to get as high as an actual pilot. And Greg Riley made a great joke on our text thread last night saying, if the cocaine pilot program was in Poland, every man in Poland would sign up for flight school. Because they're so stupid. They saw a pilot program.
Mm-hmm. I get it.
Get it? Because they're dumb.
I want to be one of the first that gets my
Idiots
my
so
nose on this
stupid.
legal cocaine.
and morons.
The Swiss deputy director of those idiots. The Swiss deputy director of addiction said, quote, "We have a lot of cocaine in Switzerland right now. It's at the cheapest prices and the highest quality we have ever seen." So I mean, I guess Bern was awesome before this. And he says you can get a dose of cocaine for about 10 francs these days, which is about the price of a beer. So for one beer, you can get zooted over there.
Wow.
But dude, isn't Switzerland like tremendously expensive? Yeah, their capital is
20
Zurich.
francs. Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah.
I think you're thinking of like the ski resorts and all that shit, but I know they have-
Switzerland's the, like,
Or I
the
guess it's
highest
not
cost.
Zurich. No. I remember
And they have a lot of hotties, and it's expensive. And
the first tour I ever booked in Europe. The
Great
agent came
healthcare.
back with offers, and Switzerland was on the list, and I saw how much it cost to go there, and I was like, we skipped
yeah,
it.
I think like the average household income's like 200 grand, something.
Swiss
ridiculous.
bank accounts, bro. It's just
Yeah,
people
yeah,
hide
yeah.
their money over there.
There's a lot of rich people over there, a lot of hot blondes, and a lot of cocaine apparently. So they said, since everyone's doing it anyways, we might as well make a little bit of money off of this, and the government's going to legalize.
I'm surprised they have a lot of blow there, bro. I feel like the deeper you get into Europe, the harder it is to get coke in there.
Rich people going to do cocaine, Pat. They wouldn't be there if it wasn't
Yeah.
there.
they live raves over there.
Yeah. Switzerland. All right. Lastly, I'd like to introduce you to Neil the seal. If you're not familiar, Neil the seal is a 1,000-pound seal that lives on the Australian island state of Tasmania, and he's become one of the biggest internet celebrities of late 2023. He is a fucking beast, and he just fucks shit up over there. Let me
Look what he did to himself.
yeah, he's hilarious.
He's like a 2-year-old, bro. I could tell you right now.
He's a 3-year-old.
Looking cute and just blocking your path.
That's exactly what he does. Let me try to find you a video I have of Neil the seal. I don't know if I have it.
Have we talked about Neil the Seal before?
I don't think we have.
I don't remember Neil the
I think we've mentioned him, maybe. I think.
I don't have the video, but the local news basically just confirms everything I said. What he does all day is he's been doing this, but he just became internet famous since he's 3. He gets out of the water like during the season. I think he's about to go away because it's winter time or whatever. So Neil the Seal is about to be offline. But basically the past couple of years, he just comes out on land during the day and he eats street signs and he tries to break into people's homes and stands in their front yard.
It's like,
Yeah, he's like an addict. He like lays in people's front yards right outside their house, and they're like, "Neil, we need to leave to go to work, Neil. Someone lives here, Neil." And then by the end of the afternoon, like when sunset's coming down, the police get in their police cruisers and they chase him back into the ocean every day. And they put their sirens on and they just corner him and get him back into the ocean. And he goes back in the ocean. And then like the next day he comes back and
all right, who's on Neil duty today?
once he's caused enough mischief, they get him back in the ocean, and he's fucking awesome. But he's also a celebrity over there.
It's a small town he's in.
Yeah, it's in Tasmania, and a town that starts with a D and has 300 local residents, and they all love
Neil.
Yeah,
That's
for
awesome.
sure.
And that's the show.
Beautiful.
We all love you. We hope that everyone has a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, especially Neil the Seal and Sydney Sweeney's Rack, and everyone out there.
Who's fucking Sydney? Who's
the guy who's
Who's she
the
involved with?
star of her new movie is reportedly fucking her. He was the hot shot in Top Gun 2, the backup, but he was like the main hot shot in Top Gun 2. Remember?
Who
You know
she's
what I'm
got?
talking
He's a fiance, Jonathan Davino.
That doesn't sound right.
Sydney Sweeney may be the star of the rom-com. Anyone but you. That's the one that
Who's
Mark's
her
talked
co-star?
about. Doesn't mean she's willing to let the public into her private life with her fiance. She's been engaged to Davino since 2022.
Yeah, but people are saying she's banging her co-star.
Okay, let's see. Anyone but you is co-star. Glenn Powell.
Glenn Powell. He's the guy.
People
from
are
Top
saying
Gun.
that.
Yeah, they've seen him around town after the movie stopped filming.
Sweeney has dispelled some rumors, specifically that he is not a restaurateur, and shared that after 6 years of being together, they've started to collaborate on producing projects. They've been together 6 years. He's a businessman from Chicago.
Yeah, but she just filmed a steamy romance with the heartthrob.
She's getting big now. She's getting a little too big.
Yeah.
Oh, she's huge. I mean, dude, I was surprised to see that new movie came out. It's in theaters. It's really hard to create a star these days. She's a star. It's there's fewer and fewer of them every year. She's huge.
I mean, do you think that her restaurateur fiance that started dating her when she was like 18 and still conscious about her boobs is anywhere near as attractive as Glenn Powell?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna show you a picture of her fiance. He's got a greasy look to him, which I appreciate as a guy that has a greasy look. He's not ugly. He's handsome. He's not all American boy handsome like Glenn Powell. He looks like
He could be the next Captain America.
maybe you'd see him. You'd see her boyfriend or fiance in Switzerland.
he's
when they
toast.
open the cocaine program.
He's toast.
Yeah, he's got absolutely no chance, dude. Here's
Like that bra she's wearing.
I don't know, that bra has no chance, dude. It had a chance, but her mom talked her out of it.
Round out like a welcome, man. Come on.
She was filming a romantic comedy on an island with Glenn Powell for 6 months.
Oh God. Why did he let her do that?
Sweeney calls the shots.
Yeah. Anyways, that's the show. We love you. Have a Merry Christmas. Have a happy holidays. We'll talk to you on next week. Yeah. Talk to you soon. Bye.